Well, hello, and hello. I emphasize the low because you are watching Big Low and the Big Sports Lowdown. Welcome to let's see. I guess I'd call it the pre-recorded version because we're pre-recording. Wow, what a concept. Never thought I'd be doing a pre-recorded version because I like the live side of life. But today is a special day. How special, you say? The 4-2 Seattle Seahawks are taking on the 4-2, soon to be 4-3 San Francisco 49ers down in the Bay on Thursday Night Football. And why are we pre-recording this thing? Well, because we got to jet up to a place called Bleachers Pub. Yes, Bleachers Pub in Greenwood on Greenwood Avenue. And if you want to hang out with Big Low and the rest of the show, come on up. Greenwood Avenue, 8118 Greenwood Avenue North to be exact. And join me, Shane, and the gang and watch a whole lot of football because the Seahawks are playing big tonight. It's going to be a big game. Wow, a big game on Sunday. Holy smokes. The Cowboys, the Packers, Cam Newton, and the Patriots. We've beat them all. Tony Romo, Aaron Rodgers, Cam Newton, and Tom Brady. Yes, the Seahawks have accomplished part of the mission. Yes, I say part of the mission because it's not completed yet. But soon, yes, soon it will be done. Once we take Alex Smith and stuff his little face in the turf tonight in Candlestick, woo! Can you believe it? I can. Wow, I got my magnificent co-host Mark with me today. Mark, what's going on, brother?
Hola, brother. Another good day in the neighborhood.
Are your feet on the ground yet?
You know what? We're 4-2. No, not yet.
Russell Wilson. Enough said, huh?
Enough said. I take it back. I love Matt Flynn still. I still love the old-fashioned pocket passing
quarterback. You still want to bear the guy's children, don't you?
But Russell Wilson impressed the HE double hockey
you
stick.
Could say.
Well, you're right. There's no FCC here.
Yeah,
he impressed the hell out of me.
Just don't say that F word or that S bomb because I do have a lot of cool kids watching.
That is true.
You know, man, oh man.
PG-13 here.
A lot of people never believed this would happen.
I did not expect to be.
There was people on that fence
that
were spitting on Russell, not giving him a chance to walk that aisle. And if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. Woo! Ric Flair style. He comes out and just whoops ass, man.
The last touchdown thing of beauty, you know. NFL films. I had to watch Inside the NFL last night. Just.
Did you see my big mug on there?
Yes, I did.
I guess I was on NFL Network like 3 or 4 times last night. And the Dan Patrick Show. Big Low's moving up in the world, not only on the Big Sports Lowdown, but he's branching out. But not Dion branching out. Sorry, Dion, but you got cooked the other day. Man.
You mad, Tommy Jonas. You mad.
What a defense.
Honestly. Oh,
can you believe that?
Beautiful. You know, did what they needed to do to win. That's all that matters. They won the football game, so can't complain.
Man.
Can't complain. Good day today.
So, you know, me and Mark will be back in a little bit to talk a whole lot of Hawks. We're probably going to give you about a good 20-25 minutes of Hawk talk here in a little bit. But got a really special guest in studio today. And this guy, he's one of the guys that back in the days, I told everybody, this man's going to be in the NFL. Turmoil, trials, tribulations, you go through all kinds of different stuff, but we're going to talk to him about pretty much his life story. He gave me a great book to read, Lessons of the Game. The man's name, Derek Sparks. An incredible, incredible man, an incredible journey through life. One heck of a football player at Washington State University. Coug in his heart, Coug throughout his body, Coug throughout life. Derek, what's up, buddy?
Man, I'm excited to be here. I feel special today here with some celebrities.
If I could reach out far, I'd reach out and touch you and feel just how special you feel, man.
It's good to be here. I'm very excited, and thanks for having me.
Oh, man, it's a pleasure. I mean, it's an honor. Like I said, back in the days, I mean, I'm a Husky Coug. You know, I'm a Coug Husky. I don't know how I'm supposed to say it, but I live in Washington. I've been here my whole life. Everybody always says, you know, Big Low, you pro Husky or pro Cougar? It's like, I'm both. You know, I mean, hell, back in the days, they asked French fries or onion rings. Deion Sanders said both.
Right.
It's like, hey,
let's do both.
I can do both. You know, I can go both ways when it comes to football. Basketball, maybe not so much Cougs, but I got to support my Washington teams.
There you go.
You know, that's what it's about.
I agree.
It's the love of the game, and people get irked at me because I like Cougar football.
Yeah.
But there's been some really special years, man, and you played through a couple of them. And
yeah, we had some good years over there under Mike Price, and you know, I was fortunate enough to go to a couple bowl games and play with some outstanding players like Drew Bledsoe.
Oh man.
You know,
woo!
Mark Fields, the Palouse Posse.
Mark
you know,
Fields, man.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that name in a little while.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. So
I hear Bledsoe all the time, though. I mean, people.
He's homegrown.
Bring him up all the time.
Yeah, he's homegrown, and you know, he's a legend. So.
Yeah.
Part for the course.
You're up to like tons of stuff. I mean, if a man had many things on his plate, you're one guy that I'm learning a lot about. And Derek, how do you manage your time? I mean, I'm the sports fan dude that goes to ball games, has a sports show, does a lot in the community as far as helping people. I got my big Thanksgiving thing coming up. I got my huge Christmas thing that I do every year coming up. And it's hard to manage my time.
Absolutely.
You got a book out. You help kids. You go mentor kids at schools. You got a foundation. You've got the coolest damn website that's just going to blast everybody's minds here pretty soon.
Right.
My Zone.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is going to be huge.
It's going to be huge. Absolutely. How do I do it? You know, I think I don't know. You know, I don't sleep. You know what I mean? So
we'll sleep when we're dead.
Absolutely.
Amen.
And that's the philosophy. You know, let's get it done now. You know, we got time to sleep later on. So
right on.
I'm very driven, and you know, my humble beginnings contribute to how hard I work. And I just have a vision that I feel like, you know, I need to follow through on.
Right.
That's, you know, involving the community, sports, and kids. You know, I'm passionate about it, and I've been passionate about it for about 12 years now. Ever since I hung up those shoulder pads and cleats and decided that, you know, it was time to make the transition, you know, to real life. And so the book, you know, has been a blessing to be able to come out and tell your story.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe that we all have stories. that
we do.
You know, and you have a great story as well. Which we're
working on the book.
We're working on the book. There you go.
You know, there's so many different aspects of life that we go through.
Right.
You know, with me, where do I start? You know, it's like I want to go to every one of these book writers that I read their books. You know, we had John Wells in here a little while back. He wrote a book called Shipwrecked about the whole Mariners philosophy that he has, and why aren't they winning? Why aren't they doing this? Why is management doing this? And it's a great read called Shipwrecked. He wrote a great book.
Right.
Now, Lessons of the Game, I mean, I've read the book, and now I'm finding myself going chapter by chapter trying to learn different things.
Sure.
And the trials and tribulations you went through just as a kid. I think of the things I went through with losing my mom to cancer at age 7, my grandfather at age 5, just all these different steps that we go through in life. 17, 18 years old, losing my aunt that took me under her wing when my mom passed away, my grandmother. I mean, they died within like 3 months of each other.
Right.
And my Aunt Sherry, she's really my cousin by marriage, but I called her my Aunt Sherry.
Right.
They found her in the woods.
Wow.
Dead. They said she just wandered off and just died. BS. They found her head, and that was all they found.
Wow.
That devastated me. That took a huge part of me and threw it to the curb.
Right.
And how you bounce back from that, you just look at each day in a positive way and say, hey, God's got something for this.
Absolutely.
And so with you, I mean, reading your childhood and the things that you went through with your father, Mom was there for you.
Right. And
an amazing lady. And reading a part where you went, it was something about the class pictures.
Yeah.
You didn't have the money for it. Mom didn't have the money for it. She says, call your dad.
Right.
How do you get the courage up to call your father and say, hey, I need some dough?
Well, I need some dough, but I think the underlining, you know, part of that is someone that you don't really know.
Right.
You know, I never had a relationship with my father, so you know, having her say that, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
you know, I'll get right on that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And
Next
so,
week,
yeah,
maybe.
you know, and I think that was a turning point for me because I did call,
Right.
and he stood me up. You know, here I am waiting, and I'm waiting on this. You know, I think it was like $20 for, you know, pictures at school. You know, every kid wants their picture
You
taken.
gotta have your pictures. Yeah, I mean.
You know, and, you know, I put an extra shine on my shoes, and I was
Oh,
ready to
man.
go, and he never showed up, and, you know, it caused me to be late for school and all this stuff, but I never got my picture taken, you know,
Wow.
that year. And so just those little stories like that and how it impacts others is what I'm interested in because,
Right.
you know, over the past 10 years, I've been able to be in a couple hundred schools. I've been in front of thousands of kids, and they're going through some of the same issues
Oh,
that
yeah.
I went through as a youngster. And so to be able to say something inspirational, to say how you got through that is very important to
Right.
those youth, you know. And so I've had young people come up crying about, you know, not having a dad and dad didn't care about them, you know, or they're living with grandma or granddad because their parents are incarcerated or
Right.
dead, you know. So all of these themes are in the book. I didn't want it to just be a sports book about playing the game of football.
Right.
That's important, but let's talk about some of those other issues that are important to everybody that lives in America.
Yeah, man. You know, just thinking about the kids that I'm sure you've impacted. I think about the kids that we all impact in some way or another.
Absolutely.
And there's many ways to make a good impression on a kid. The other day I'm at the Seahawks game. A little kid came up to me and said, "Hey, Big Low, my dad's Chris, and he asked you the other day if you could help me get Marcus Trufant's autograph, blah, blah." And I was just like, okay. And I laid down the line to him, told him, you know, go over to this section.
Sure.
You got to wait over there. When Marcus comes back by, you just say, "Hey, Mr. Trufant," and ask him in a nice way.
Sure.
And so he waited over there. I had to run out and get some passes that Marcus had left for me at the will call window. I come back,
Sure.
and he's just got this glowing face. "Big Low, I got it! I got it!" And he got Marcus's autograph.
And he'll always remember that.
And he sure will, you know, and that's the thing that as we can make positive impressions on children, it's huge for their future.
Absolutely.
When I was a kid, I had those people that I looked up to. Me, to shed my mom's death, my grandpa's death, grandma's death, Sherry's death, and all the deaths that I've gone through ever since. I mean, friends dying, watching my friend shoot him and his buddy, you know, and it's just like, and then himself. And it's, you know, just all these different things that you see in life.
Right.
You wonder how you're going to overcome it.
Right.
Every day is a new day.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, the impact that we make with children, I see as just important as heck. And you're going to the schools, branching out.
Right.
How many local schools have you been to here? And have you just been doing it here in Washington?
I've been
or
doing it everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah. In the past 10 years, I've been in over 200 schools.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And so, you know, I get a call, "Hey, can you come put on a motivational assembly?" Sure. You know, we show up. Sometimes I bring, you know, a friend that's an athlete or a
Right.
former athlete or coach. Whatever the situation is at the school, we try to tailor that message for that school. Whatever's going on, whether they have a drug problem, a gang problem we're doing right now. I've collaborated with Dub C from West Side Connection, rapper.
Right.
And in the LA area, what we're doing is schools that have gang issues, I'm partnering with him to go in and talk about those issues and how he grew up and how he got into gangs and how it was a dead end and how now he had to make the transition from making bad decisions into his passion, which was being an artist. You know, and so just like your story, you had adversity in your life,
Right.
but how did you react to it? What did you do beyond that?
I got into sports.
Absolutely.
You know, and it just changed my life.
And we have that commonality.
Right.
Sports was a vehicle for me to get out of poverty.
Right.
And-
Sports and God is where it was for me.
There you go.
I mean, you know, I started going to church, the youth groups, and all that stuff.
Sure.
You just overcome.
You overcome. But you can't, there is no manual a teenager or a middle school kid can pick up
Right.
that talks about how to overcome adversity.
You're right. And,
It's just
people don't realize the gang affiliations in schools
Right.
are as big as they are.
Sure.
I didn't realize it until about 2 years ago.
Gangs and bullying.
Oh
I mean,
my
the bullying is a
gosh.
form of being, you know.
It's terrible
Yeah.
how huge it is.
Absolutely.
And what possesses, I never wanted to be in a gang. You know,
Right,
the only gang
right.
I wanted to be in is when I was like in second or third grade. We had a group called the Daredevils. We went up playing in the woods, and we had this little cliff thing that we'd jump off, and we're the Daredevils, you know,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
land down 20 feet down the dirt hill, you know.
But the root issue
was
to
it.
that, Big Low, the root issue is what we just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Kids who don't have that role model at home,
Right.
that through affiliation
Oh,
with
yeah.
a group that is doing knucklehead things in the community,
Yeah.
they gravitate towards that because they feel that sense of family, right?
Yes.
And before you know it, they're slinging cocaine, they're jumping new members into the gang, beating people up and so forth, and they're terrorizing the neighborhood, right? And so, that's what we're talking about, and that's the root issue that we try to focus on, is that intervention piece, to let people know, to let young people know that,
Right.
look, there is another way. If I can come out of poverty with just my mom, without a dad, and be the first in the history of my family to go to college and get a degree, then you can come out of your circumstances as well.
Amen.
And so you have to sow those seeds into those young people. Then you have to believe in them. Then they have to trust you
Right.
and what you're saying. So very important work. I love it. I wouldn't do anything else. And it all came through my story and my book, Lessons of the
Amazing.
Game. And we're going to keep it going.
Once again, Lessons of the Game is the book. Derek Sparks, an amazing human being. I'm glad God made him, because now he's in my life, and this is going to be something big. I mean, we're going to get together on some big things that are coming up. His website, My Zone. Okay, this is going to be a sports social network, so it's going to be new. It's going to be something totally different, something that you have never seen before. And right now, Mark's not on camera, but I see something irking at him. Mark's got some kind of question that he wants to ask Derek, because I see the fidgeting. Mark, what's your question for Derek?
You played in the snowball.
I played in the snowball.
How great was that?
Hey, we had a great time playing it, and I played in two of them. Both were victories over the Dogs, so I had to throw that out there. And the misconception, I just want to get the record straight,
Right.
is that Cougars love to play in the snow. That is not true.
I froze my balls off in that game.
Absolutely.
I was coaching a game. Check this out. Coaching a game for Inter Bay, my junior football team. We're playing in the championship game, and it's just freaking sideways rain coming down. First off, before the game, their coach is blabbing, blah, 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 I want you to decleat somebody. And so my kids were all like, fear right then. Fear just struck them. I got the 12 to 14-year-old juniors. And all of a sudden, it's probably about midway through the second quarter. Silver Lake is just crushing our butts, man, just beating us up, because they've got these big, huge kids, and I don't have big, huge kids. I just got the little average kids that ain't so big.
Right.
One of my kids, Cassio Saturn, comes up to me. He's like, Coach, I'm so cold, I can't feel my balls. And it's like, oh my God. Come on, you guys are football players. You're supposed to be able to take this stuff. But you just heard it here first. They don't like playing in the snow.
Absolutely.
Or the cold.
Absolutely. I mean, especially for the California recruits that come in.
Oh, man.
They realize that I didn't know it was going to be this cold in Pullman.
And you're a Texas guy.
I'm a Texas guy.
Yeah.
Grew up in Texas, born and raised. Moved to California to experience my high school years, and ended up going through the recruiting process, and graduated from Mater Dei and Powerhouse.
Cypress boy right here.
Oh, Cypress. Okay, you already know.
man.
Absolutely. So yeah, 92 Snowball,
Wow.
and 94. I remember was the best game for me because I had 2 touchdowns on the Dogs, and
Man.
that was Napoleon Kaufman's last year, which I
Oh,
really,
Napoleon. I love that guy.
I love Nip,
Oh.
being a product of California as well. And
now, isn't he like a pastor or something?
yeah, he's a pastor,
Yeah.
just decided to hang him up and go and serve the Lord and be a blessing to the community.
What an incredible college career, and then to the pros, and then it was just like, where did he go?
Absolutely.
And a lot of people always were, whatever happened to Napoleon Kaufman?
Yeah. Well, when you're secure with who you are as a person,
Yeah.
and you don't need validation from folks,
Amen.
you just go and do what you need to do, and that's how he's always been. So it didn't surprise me that, he still had fresh legs and decided that I'm going to put my career to rest,
So see, folks, Cougars and Huskies can get along. Oh, man. You got something else on your plate there, Mark?
We gonna start singing "It's a Small World" next, or what?
We can do that. Do you know the words?
No, I don't.
Oh, come on now.
Hey, I grew up in Southern California. Those are like nightmare words.
My sister would probably have my butt in a sling about right now because I don't know the words of "It's a Small World." And my sister and her kids, Michael, Stefan, Brittany, they're the Disney family totally. So I guarantee Michael, my nephew, he could sing the whole thing word for word. But they work there, so they better be able to sing the words. So
hey, in the hood,
it was cheap. He only took us to Disneyland when it rained. It was half off.
Oh, so okay. Let's go to the website.
Okay.
MyZone.
MyZone.
Explain the social platform.
So MyZone is something I've been working on for about a year.
Right.
Our motto is connecting champions worldwide. And the idea came from, I didn't just wake up one morning and say, I want to be Mark Zuckerberg and I want to be the next. I know people probably think that.
But you'll take the money.
We'll take the money,
definitely. Praise the Lord. Can I have a little bit of it?
There you go. So what happened was in my career, I've done a lot of counseling with kids, post high school, getting them ready for college and so forth. And the questions that I've always gotten from parents and kids is, what's the next step? What are the things I should be doing as a high school senior, junior, and so forth, whether I'm just a student or a student athlete. And so my thought was, wouldn't it be cool to have a resource where you could share and streamline information around sports? And so MyZone, when I think about when MySpace came out, kids were gung-ho about MySpace on the web, right? And you couldn't keep them off of it. So I said, wow, let's put a spin on that. Let's call it MyZone. It has that double meaning,
Oh, yeah.
Your area on the web, but also it's a mental thing when you approach the game.
Right.
You're in the zone.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And so now we're giving kids and coaches and booster club members and conferences and leagues and teams and programs and so forth an opportunity to have their community where they can streamline information, share information. If you're a player, you have your video section, your photos, you have content that you could share with other players, universities, and so forth. So if you're a coach and you want to know where can I find film on this kid, and they say, well, go to YouTube.
Yep.
Now you say, hey, come to MyZone.
Nice.
I have my whole catalog there.
That's beautiful.
And so that's the idea. We're almost complete. We're ready to launch here. We haven't chosen a date, but we're going to be doing that fairly soon.
Okay, now I'm a champion in my own mind.
Right.
So I can virtually go to MyZone and create the Low Zone.
There you go.
I'm digging that.
You digging that?
I'm digging that.
Yeah.
Y'all can be checking out the Low Zone. Wow, that's got a nice ring to it. Ding.
Love it. I love it. And
you got to emphasize the low in love.
There you go. Because you work very hard to build your brand.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's what we're teaching student athletes is, you know what? You are a brand.
Right.
Whether you believe it or not. And the earlier you can start thinking in that manner, you can start to do things the right way.
Right, like the LeBron Jameses, the Carmelo Anthonys. Right. I mean, these guys, they went into colleges with game plan. Well, LeBron didn't go into college, but Carmelo.
They understood the concept.
He understood, yeah.
Absolutely. So. But then you see and read stories of, a kid who just accepted a big-time scholarship offer that was rejected because he was on Facebook with, a can of beer in his hand.
Wow.
And so that whole branding thought, is like you are your brand. What you do and don't do will affect your future. So basically MyZone is a place where you brand yourself, whatever you do. The Big Low Zone, all of your followers can come to your zone. You could, daily post. We even have a back system where you could sell merchandise and be able to monetize.
Right.
We can sell the Big Low shirts, man.
Big Sports Lowdown shirts. You know where to get those, don't you? IamHOgear.com. Yeah.
So I mean, it's just another outlet. It's another outlet, and it's sports driven. And not to knock Facebook because we're not trying to compete in that environment.
Right.
But you have so many different kinds of users on Facebook. It's hard to know who you're advertising to and who you're talking to. So
that's just it. I mean, like on Facebook, I get so frustrated by the negative Nellies out there.
Right.
You know, if I post something about Russell Wilson, somebody comes at me and, dude, you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
I've been telling people for 2.5 months that this guy is going to be.
He's the truth.
Oh,
No,
man.
he's the truth.
And it finally came out on Sunday when he
Absolutely.
threw that last beautiful little pass to Sidney Rice. And Sidney Rice says, boom, and rolls into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. We just beat you, Tom Brady. And Richard Sherman went up to him and said, you mad, bro? You know what's funny is after that game, I go to the family area. And when Richard came out, it was after he did probably 30 interviews with everybody. Sherman comes walking out, and I was the first one to him. I was like, Richard, what did you say to Tom Brady? I got to know. And he said, I told him simple, man. You're a man. We're a team. And so I made the picture on
Nice.
Monday morning
Nice.
of that, you know, so people would see that that's what he said.
Wow.
Because everybody's like, you mad, bro? And it's like, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
But what he said was,
That's
look,
powerful.
dude.
That's powerful.
And I saw another picture later on that was actually Tom, you know, and they were like conversing and having a more down to earth thing. But this whole
Right.
Twitter thing just, I mean, it blows everybody's mind.
Right.
That's
Right.
why my zone is going to be a space where I see people, positive people,
Right.
talking about sports. And
Absolutely.
if you can keep the negative jokers just out of it, I wish there was a way you could just weed them out.
Well, you know, that's just the thing. Through our process of knowing what we wanted to launch and what we wanted to introduce to the world,
Right.
was talking to school districts and understanding some of the challenges of using a social media site like Facebook and the legalities behind, you know, a coach using it, you know, and he's employed with the district. And so if you really think about it and you do your research, schools are now saying to coaches that you can't use Facebook. And if you do, it has to be administered by someone at the district level,
Right.
and it only can be a fan page. So there's some fear there. So with my zone, we're saying it's all about sportsmanship
Right.
because kids are here.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to find content because other users can flag your zone if there's content on there that's not.
That's
doesn't fit.
good. That's good. That's what we need.
That's
I
what you
mean,
need.
Wow.
So it's a self-policing kind of platform.
Beautiful.
And our tech team will be able to identify those and suspend those accounts or delete them all
Good
together.
deal. See, I had this great idea about 7-8 months ago along the lines of combining MySpace, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. I just want to mesh them all together and call it YouTwit on my face. You know, I mean, what the heck? It would have been
Right.
beautiful. But
I
you know,
love it. I
this
love it.
concept with my zone, it's going to blow people's mind.
Yeah, and
Especially the sports fans. And that's,
Absolutely.
wow.
It's exciting. It's
Oh,
exciting.
man.
And you know, we're not saying stop using your other social media sites.
Right.
What we're saying is here's a platform that's more specific, and that if you choose to share that information with your Twitter account or your Facebook account,
Right.
you can from your zone. It'll ask you, do you want to share this?
That's
and
a
you
great
click
concept.
those other
Wow.
other social media sites, and it goes to the other sites. And now people on Facebook are saying, "Wow, what's my zone?
Yeah.
You know, what is that about?" You
Oh,
know,
boy.
and so we're really excited about it. We're excited about it being a resource for the sports community, and we've really done our due diligence and talked to a lot of different kinds of potential users in that sports
That
arena.
sounds like a football player. Due diligence. I like that. Yeah, I'm due diligence. I'm 69 out of Colorado. Yeah, my name
There you
Due
go.
Diligence.
I love it.
Man, Lessons of the Game. That's the book. Derek Sparks, the man, the myth, the legend. What's the website for my zone?
So basically, you could go to one area.
Can they go here now and sign up?
They can't go there now because
Okay,
it's not
launched
it's
yet.
not live.
Okay.
But what we're gonna do is we're gonna be doing some media to let folks know that when we go live, and we did a pre-registration where folks could go and
Right.
pre-register. So we got about 20,000 names, and so we're gonna launch with those 20,000,
Nice.
and then let it do the whole
Beautiful.
snowball viral.
Damn it! I didn't
phenomenon.
get in that group of 20,000.
That's all right. You're in now.
On the show, you're in.
Oh man.
So if you go to gametime.tel,
Okay.
that's my basically my area of the web that has all of my websites, my social media, Facebooks, Twitter, all of that. Rather than rattle off 15 different addresses, you just go to gametime.tel, put that in your web browser, and it'll bring up the Derek Sparks and where
Nice.
you can reach me and so forth. I am going to be touring the state of Washington doing book tours.
You are doing a book tour. Good.
I'm doing a book tour.
Good.
Starting November 9th in Pullman. I'll be at the bookstore on the 9th.
Anything local on this side?
I'm teaming up with WSU, the West Side office, so we're gonna be doing some
So you won't be doing a book signing anytime soon at the University of Washington bookstore?
Well, I'm good friends with Greg Lewis, so I might I might be able to work something out.
I think it'd be cool. I mean,
I'm trying to get Greg to write his book as well.
The hatred. Come on, can't we all just get along?
Oh man.
The book again, Lessons of the Game, Derek Sparks, Stuart K. Robinson. Amazing read. I encourage you to get the book. It's a great story. If you're just sitting there bored at night, the power goes out, grab yourself a candle or a flashlight and read this sucker, because it pulls tears out of you, and it makes you feel good. It makes you feel really good. Derek, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Me and Mark got to talk a little Hawks for about 20
That's
minutes,
right,
and
appreciate it.
It's like I said, it's you're gonna see more of Derek, because this is just the tip of the iceberg of what we got going. Just a tip of the iceberg.
Absolutely.
We're gonna bring Greg Stern in, and that's like Derek's buddy, and y'all gonna see a whole bunch of stuff going on, because we're gonna mesh all this stuff together and create something big.
Go Cougs!
Go Cougs, he says. Zan's going to run you a video real quick, a little bit of the Jamal Crawford Summer Pro-Am that we did. We couldn't show it last week because there was so many technical difficulties, but we hope we got the bugs fixed. Roll it, Zan!
In Manila, Pisces child. Pops took one look, said I might be wild. I was first to 3, my first to 10. Started looking for a mic, let the search begin. What you know about kids barefoot in the streets? In the summer couldn't do nothing good in the heat, but wait for the raindrops to fall. You know about glass shards cemented on top of walls, so fools wouldn't climb over and rob the house in the middle of the night, then stomp you out. You know about brownouts, typhoons, and floods, turning the roads into swimming pools and mud. Life never really seemed rough to me, though we drank Ovaltine with water. A bottle of milk was a luxury. If it was up to me, I'd leave on a light. The swat flies in the morning, mosquitoes at night.
In a special game today, there was a lot of talent out here. You guys took it to them. Everybody was saying you guys were outmatched. It didn't show on the court. What do you feel about that?
Well, that's just a testament to our hustle and the guys that we had on the team. Our coach did a good job. Terrence was pretty much good. Aaron Brooks made big shots late, so.
Isaiah Thomas out here, Terrence Williams. I mean, a lot of class act talent, a lot of NBA guys. We're hoping to see you back there soon. What's in the future for Will Conroy?
Well, I got a partial guarantee from the Minnesota Timberwolves, so me and B. Roy be playing together again, so that'll be sweet.
Aaron Brooks joined you today. How was that, having him on the team?
Well, you know how I feel about the Ducks, but me and Aaron played on the same AAU basketball teams growing up, so I got a little love for him.
We are anti-Duck around here, aren't we? Dubs up all the way.
No smucks allowed. I mean ducks.
If you could look through my eyes and see what I see, even the deepest hater here would be believing in me. If I could let you occupy my body and mind, trace my footsteps while I'm walking through time. If you could look through my eyes and see what I see, even the deepest hater here would be believing in me. If I could let you occupy my body and mind, trace my footsteps while I'm walking through time. Yo, I ain't saying that it don't seem bad, but I'm saying it was all we knew, cause it was all we had. What you know about cops, more crooked than crooks, and a gang of elected officials cooking the books, but it escalated.
Tony Roden, you're an amazing ball player, man. A lot of us in Seattle are really proud of you, man. You're playing ball in the NBA now, playing against a bunch of players today. How's it feel?
It feels great. It's just a blessing to be able to play with these great players, and they all be from Seattle.
You've always been a class act, man. Very talented player. What do you see in your future for the NBA?
I just continue to work hard. Hopefully, a bright future. Be successful. Take it one day at a time, and take it from there.
Terrence Williams today, he seemed to have it out for you guys. What's up with that?
It's bragging rights. You want to be able to win, so you can brag and joke around with us. That's all it is. Nothing serious.
was rumors of new People's Army rebels in town. Signs in front of restaurants said no weapons allowed. You know about that? Was there no messing around? And so the army moved in across the field. Helicopter patrols, practice shots for real. What you know about thinking of the presence and meaning? Or soldiers lighting up their cigarettes in the evening. And I was innocent then, I should've knew better. Then came the day when there was a new letter for my pops in the bag of mail. He opened it up, it was a death threat, so he had to bail. If you could look through my eyes and see what I see, even the deepest hater here would be believing in me. If I could let you occupy my body and mind, trace my footsteps while I'm walking through time. If you could look through my eyes and see what I see, even the deepest hater here would be believing in me. If I could let you occupy my body and mind, trace my footsteps while I'm walking through time. Airborne from Manila, America bound. Look out to the horizon, I'm staring it down. Guess it was the best way to abort the plan. The military rebels trying to extort my fam, but it's over now with a brand new start, like cardiac transplants with a brand new heart. We touched down in the Midwest, in a place where both of my parents thought they could raise their kids best. Yeah,
J-Pro's back in the building.
Mercury, baby. Arsenal, J-Pro, bringing back home rewind. You ain't had enough of the way we slay mics whenever we got something to say. Whenever we screaming, beat a poem, wet beats and we condone. Set a technique, correct each and every hiccup. The number of leaders getting spun on the axis so fast. We reverse time, they running and backward. Smack with 100 bars packed with none of the whack. Fact, you want heaters? Everyone on the track, this is official. Weapons grade ammunition, yo, we locked and loaded. Who needs a bar? Every single thing we drop exploded. Now we back, who calling it done? Ain't never met J-Pro's prodigal son. Cause that's a power that can move crowds with intricate slang. Ravenous in the booth and instantly sinking the bank. Put your verse against mine if you really think you can bang. But I guarantee you won't have enough fake in your gang. I'm in the zone when I spit it and I spit it up the syllables. I keep a man on ball, hold the throne like a criminal. Respond, you're subliminal, your lyrics on our little, it's literal.
Ball starting to rack. Remember, there's always going to be 4 leather balls. You're never throwing a ball back here. It's always going to the next spot. Okay, so start like this. We go 3, 2, 1. You shoot the balls. So we have 2 people here. We got 3 rebounders. One will hold the ball. One will hold the extra ball. And the other one will move the rack. The ball's not hit the ground. Okay? Rebound that ball quickly. Get the ball to this next rack.
But of course I encounter resistance. When I said I rap, they were like, quick clown, what is this? All I could do was show skills and prove that my rhymes were like V12s built to move. Hooked up with animosity, Asian and black. What you know about both of us, nation and track. Hip-hop was my inhalation. Right. Long as you exhaled hot 16s, we blew up house parties and such. Where you could find me popping her top and sparking the Dutch. Verbal abuse was the name of the clan. Even though I rep the 12-6 now, I'ma stay with the plan. Got me a new crew, Arsenal.A to Raz. Raise your class, Coach J-Pro's on the track. It's Mercury, one love, what you know about that? If you could look through my eyes and see what I see, even the deepest hater here would be believing in me. If I could let you occupy my body and mind, trace my footsteps while I'm walking through time. Even the deepest hater here would be believing in me. If I could let you occupy my body and mind, trace my footsteps while I'm walking through time.
Jonathan, senior year coming up for you, Wren High School. You're out here with a bunch of NBA All-Stars today, man. How's that make you feel?
Man, it's kind of speechless, being out here with all these, NBA players out here and whatnot, makes me want to, get my game better so I could be where they're at right now and come back and get back like they are right now.
So you set the tempo for the skills and drills competition and looked like you outdid these guys. What's up?
Yeah, I was kind of mad about that. I was like, I thought I'd get something, even though I demonstrated I had the fastest time. But, it's no biggie. I was glad to be a part of it.
Well, we'll catch up to you this season when you're playing out there on the court for Wren High School, and look forward to it, buddy.
Thank you.
a lot of shots for them fell and ours didn't. And we got some young, athletic guys, and they just had a good game plan and they got us with it.
Seems like Terrence Williams had it out for you guys. What was up with that?
Terrence Williams is unbelievable, isn't he? That guy, you don't even know it, and then all of a sudden he's dropping about 6 threes in your face. He's unbelievable. I mean, just a specimen on the court. It looks great, and it's just, that's what you get with Terrence. You got to get him on an off night to beat him.
Big Sports Lowdown. We're showing you the clip of the small Copper Summer Pro-Am. Boy, that was a lot of fun to watch. That little kid that I interviewed, just a young buck. I think the kid's got a promising future. That dunk contest was phenomenal. And, he did the skills competition and just kind of blew everybody's time away. So we'll see what his future's got in store for him. Hopefully he's one of those guys that listens to a guy like Derek Sparks and uses that mind the right way. Doesn't end up in the wrong way. So, we're back. Big Sports Lowdown. Big Thursday show. Gonna be up at Bleachers Pub in Greenwood, 8118 Greenwood Avenue North. I think it's Greenwood Avenue North, Northeast, something like that. Just Google Bleachers Pub. You'll find it, I promise you. It's going to be a fun time up there tonight. We're going to be shooting a commercial that'll be shown on the Big Sports Lowdown and wherever else Shane chooses to put that thing out to. So, come on up and be part of the fun. I'm inviting you. Yeah, you, and you. God, that kind of reminds me of Captain Kangaroo. Mark, what's up, buddy?
Living the dream, baby. Living the dream.
What's it going to take tonight?
I believe it's going to take a nice defensive showing. I believe Russell Wilson has to basically just control the football. Just don't turn the ball over when you win this game. That's all. That's the only key I have to this game. Don't turn the football over.
You do know when San Francisco has a turnover, they're 0-2. Okay, the key to this thing...
They're front runners.
Right.
That's what they are. They're front runners.
Well, that's what people say. I think we're the front runners. In that NFC West, they used to say we're the NFC worst. I don't think they're saying that anymore. I think we have the toughest teams that are out there right now.
I agree. I think we can handle the adversity. I think we're the comeback team. They're the front runners.
Okay, I'll take that.
They can't handle the adversity. When they're trailing, just don't do it. We've looked good in the fourth quarter of games where we've trailed. I mean, we could easily be 6-0 right now. Honestly, we could be 6-0.
Right.
I mean, this team is that good, and that
Russell's kept us in every game. All the people that were just bashing him a couple weeks ago, they're blowing my mind. Yeah, you included.
Myself included.
I don't mean to rub that in your face, buddy, but there's people that still don't believe. There's people that are still saying, I'm still on the fence about Russell Wilson. I read an excerpt from Jerry Brewer yesterday in the Seattle Times. And he
Very
said,
good article.
He said Russell Wilson is the deal, blah, blah, blah. But then at the very end, he's like, but I'm not sold yet. It's like, come on. Are you or aren't you? I love this kid. And I've said since the very beginning that Russell Wilson's talents are just going to be a crescendo of excitement throughout these years. We are going to have a team that is going to be called a dynasty. Can you imagine if... No, I'm not going to say if. I'm going to say since Russell Wilson's career is going to keep on that positive rise. I mean, it's just his first year in college at North Carolina State, he had 127% rating. And it just crescendoed on up to a senior year at Wisconsin, 191. That's the highest quarterback rating in the NCAAs. That's phenomenal. If he runs that whole show throughout his pro career, we have got a dynasty forming here. Our defense is solid. Paul Allen, when it comes to paying these guys, because Seattle has had a history of saying, sorry, dude, we just don't have that kind of money. And we just let them go elsewhere. Or we don't sign them for some crazy dumb reason. This is a team that can be 3-time Super Bowl champions, 4-time Super Bowl champions. I really believe that. How do you feel?
They look great. They look great. I've actually seen that the Kansas City Chiefs have been asked for a trade by Dwayne Bowe. What would you feel about
Debo?
Yes, Mr. Dwayne Bowe in
Oh,
Seattle Seahawks.
God, I would love having Debo here. You know, there's a lot of people that say we're overloaded at wide receiver. I just think we're lacking that one dude.
Dwayne Bowe is a game changer,
Oh,
literally.
God. It was so nice to see in the second half the other day when they went to that 4 receiver set. Trips right, single left. It was beautiful. They ran that God, what was it? It wasn't a halfback pass. It was a receiver pass. Where they brought Sidney around on the reverse. Russell tosses him the ball, and Sidney hangs it up. Golden Tate gets, just bombarded by the defender on that play. Pass interference. Golden, you should have kept that ball. I wanted you to catch that ball. But we got the yardage anyway, thanks to the yellow flag on the field. Man, I love this team. And to add a guy like Dwayne Bowe.
Oh, that would. I mean,
Holy
you basically
shnikes.
you're lining up 2 number ones on each side of the field.
Boy.
You know, you got a great receiver in
They
Sidney
got to
Rice.
double
You
up
add-
Sidney
yeah,
or him.
Yeah, you're gonna give Doug Baldwin.
Oh, man.
He's gonna run open in the slot all day. I mean,
Yeah.
Tate will do the same thing.
A guy
Whoever's
really-
on the field will do the same thing if you have those two lined up.
Right. There's 2 guys that I really feel bad for. I shouldn't say a guy. There's 2 guys. Braylon Edwards, Ben Obamanu. Ben Obamanu works his butt off and deserves to get some touches on the ball.
I've loved Obi-Wan
I don't
since he was
know.
on special
Oh,
teams, man.
man.
I've loved that guy from the day he came here.
Heck yeah. But
Hard
Braylon
worker, hard
Edwards
worker. You can see
just,
it.
Just last week, just seemed heartbroken after that game. But I believe he caught his 200th touchdown pass. Wasn't it his 200th career touchdown?
200 reception.
Oh, was it reception?
Career
And it was a
reception,
touchdown.
yeah.
That's what it
Yes,
was. Okay. But that catch, the concentration just on that
Oh,
catch
yeah.
alone, I mean, God, how he stayed in bounds on that. And then once again, that was a pass interference play, but declined that sucker because he did catch it. So, and they had to review it. Got to look at that one up in the booth.
Always got to look at turnovers and touchdowns.
Oh boy.
They looked great last week. If they can just carry the momentum this week, and if you're 5-2 after 7 games,
Oh, man.
I mean, you're on pace for an 11 to 12 win season at the very least.
Playoffs? Who said anything about playoffs? I did. We did.
Not just playoffs. So that record in this conference, how the parity in the NFL. You're looking at a bye week and possibly home field.
That's a
throughout
nice
the
thing. I
playoffs.
mean, if you're looking at the scenario here, we're playing tonight. We've got 10 days off before we play again. So that's a nice little rest spell for these guys.
Then you got a bye coming up right after
bye
that.
coming up. Well, Detroit.
Yep.
And Minnesota home.
Yes.
Minnesota home. Jets at home, and then
the bye. So
week.
you're basically
So
getting
there's
extra
2
bye
nice-
built in. Yep.
Oh,
exactly.
God, 2 nice rest periods in a season.
I've been looking at the December games and I'm wondering who they're going to flex. I mean,
Oh,
they're
man.
going to have to put us on NBC at some point on Sunday Night Football.
Definitely. We will get a Sunday night
Yes.
game. Well,
Oh, yes.
The scenario is, I say the 49ers. The
That would be a
Christmas Eve
beautiful one.
game is going to be a nice
oh,
football game.
that would be nice.
Because that's going to be the one that says who is the one that owns the NFC West.
That would be.
We do! Seahawks! Oh. Man, I am so jacked for this game tonight. I stumble with my words because I'm just so looking forward to see how this plays out. This is probably, with the exception of the NFC Championship in 2005, this is probably the biggest game the Seahawks have played in that long.
It is. It's a huge, monumental game.
Oh,
you know,
man.
seriously. I wish I could be at Bleachers Pub with you tonight. So
where?
Bleachers Pub. Come out and keep him
Greenwood
company.
Avenue.
People. Greenwood Avenue. Greenwood Avenue. Come keep him company. You know, he needs company. I'm not gonna be there, so come on out. You know, come on.
Man.
Give him business.
I can't believe you're not going to be there, Mark.
Man,
McMahon.
depressing.
Ed
Depressing.
McMahon. He's got his buddies coming over to his house.
And I got a Rugrat to
I wonder
keep.
if I can guilt
keep
him into
watching.
this.
Hey, if they allow infants in bars, we're all good then.
So, San Francisco's defense, they're pretty tough.
Oh, Patrick Willis is
Ranked
a
number
warrior,
2.
man. Smith.
Ranked number 2 in like the run. Number 1 overall. why is their defense better than ours all of a sudden? Because they had a cruddier game than we did the other day, and weren't we the #1 defense in the NFL?
Giving up 300 and some yards to
Oh,
Brady.
yeah, that's
always
right.
does that. But you know what?
Right.
But you know what? We gave up 300 and some yards to Brady, but we got that. Yes, we did.
Oh man!
Their
defense
proves.
is going to be really tough.
Rankings don't matter. Record is all that matters.
Can Marshawn Lynch rush for over 100 yards? That's what
I think he's going to be in the 80-ish range tonight, and I think Russell will keep it around between 225 and 250. I really think it's going to be around 17, 13-ish.
John Moffitt out again, thanks to that nagging injury.
We're on the road. We're on the road. You know, you don't have to blow them out. Just win the damn game.
There's going to be a lot of Hawks fans there tonight too.
Oh,
But I don't think it's going to be as prevalent as the Patriots fans, the Packers fans, or the Cowboys fans have been at CenturyLink Field the last few games.
God.
How come? Why can't we get that many fans across America? Oh, wait a minute. We will have after we run the dynasty stage.
Hey, the Niners didn't have fans until like 1980. I mean, you didn't see people wearing John Brody jerseys in the 70s around around the country. You know,
I did get one of the coolest autographs ever the other day.
Who's that?
And it is of a 49er. Yes, I said it. I got an autograph of a 49er. Dwight Clark's The Catch.
Ooh.
But check this out.
Good
He
get.
signs it Dwight Clark, The Catch, and then he diagrams the play.
Oh, wow.
It's on a 16 by 20. It's beautiful. It's in gold paint pen, and it's the most beautiful, coolest autograph I've gotten, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's not the best thing I own as far as memorabilia, but it is really, really cool. For a guy to like take the time to inscribe the catch and show the diagram of the play and his little out and in route and then out, it's just, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Still is the greatest, probably catch of that era. I mean, it's the catch. That's all you need to say. The catch.
Reception.
You go back to the 70s. True. Before that, yeah. I mean, you have an NFL history. You have basically Tyrese catch. You have Dwight Clark's catch, and you have Mr. Franco Harris catching the ball. I mean, those are the three probably biggest catches you're going to look at.
But the biggest hit ever?
Yeah.
Biggest hit ever? Steve Largent.
Oh, now see, that's what gets me. Everybody always says that, but I always think the biggest hit I've ever seen in my life, because I seriously thought he was dead, was Ricky Dudley.
Oh,
he got
Milky
taken
Dudley
out
by Darrell Williams?
Darrell Williams in the Kingdom.
God,
This
those
was
were
1996, I believe it was.
I've got that.
97.
The Seattle Times little newspaper box cover.
Yeah.
I've got 2 of those signed by Milky Dudley. Oh man, it was so awesome. I covered up part of the picture so he didn't know what he was signing. And so it's signed by Ricky Dudley, man.
See, everybody always talks about the Largent catch, but it's like, I mean, I don't know if it's because people weren't watching very much, because, I mean, you were at games in the 90s. I remember, there was an Oiler game where it was about, I think the Mariners were playing the Orioles. Johnson was pitching against Mussina. It was the clincher where the Orioles knocked the Mariners out.
Oh, okay.
I think there was about 30,000. It was the 10,000th game in NFL history. Broussard went off in that game and just tore. Ex-Cougar Steve Broussard actually tore it out.
All right, we got a minute left. So break it down real quick. Your prediction tonight.
Seattle 17-13.
Okay, let's go off camera. We got Derek.
I would say 16-10.
Okay, Greg.
I like that 10 number 2. I'm going big. I'm going 21-10.
And I'm going 27-21 Seahawks. Well, got to thank the sponsors. First off, Bleachers Pub, Greenwood Avenue. We're going to be there in a little while, so come on up. Bleachers Pub is the place to get the coldest beer in town. And always remember, free beer tomorrow. That's a staple there. Free beer tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Dermafix Tattoo is the place to get your ink. Let me tell you, they've got beautiful ink. Chantel, Cody, Scotty, they do wonderful work. Come check them out. Oh boy, I got lots of sponsors. We got Homer's Apparel, we got Jacknet Apparel, we got Geeks Riot Apparel, and more to come. Thanks for watching. I'm Big Low, Big Sports Lowdown, reminding you to have a sports fantastic day. See ya.
Good night, everybody.